Again.
Our subject is political science, agriculture.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is LIPILIPSA. I was born in a village named Konas of Pur district. I have done my schooling from Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya situated in Cuttack, and I have passed my graduation and post graduation from College of Agriculture OUT Bhubaneswar. Currently, I am pursuing my research work in Institute of Agriculture Science, SOA University, as well as I am mentoring the undergraduate student in the practical classes. My optionals are Political Science, International Relation, and Agriculture.
Why you want to join Odisha despite being agriculture a core focus area of the government? Why you want to switch from agriculture to administration?
So if I go for research work, then I will be limited with the pen and paper. I will be limited to my thesis work. Whether that is implicated to grassroots level or not, I would not know. Being a civil servant, it gives me ample opportunity to work for the government and different policies, and I will be better if I will use my study and knowledge throughout the years what I have observed, and I will try to implement this in the grassroots level so that it will penetrate to the needy people.
Is it required to study agriculture to join an administration? You have taken any other subject?
Yes, sir.
Of your choice. Why you have taken agriculture?
Sir, when I have took the subject, I did not make up my mind to join for civil service. Throughout the year, I realized the problems of agriculture farmers, which is the backbone of our nation. And for me, it's not required that it would be an agriculture background. But though the agriculture is a major, farmers are generally the 67% of people are farmers. So it will be better if I will join the civil service so that I knew the problem and I know the solution. The important thing is how I will implement the government policies and try to implement in the grassroots level.
What are all the problems of agriculture in Odisha?
So generally the farmers in agriculture are marginal farmers. They are having less than 1 hectare of land. So the problem is they do not know the crop diversification. They go for monoculturing, one practice, which is harmful to the soil as well as their income is not increasing. And the second thing, though our government is implementing the Kheta Pokhari Yojana, like we have the flood prone area and we are wasting the water also. Some of the areas also facing the drought problem also. So yeah, another thing is there are so many problems of cold storage. And in Odisha also, there are little bit like in Khurda, one cold storage is there. So post harvest loss is maximum. Yes.
That is the, like, suppose you will be a BDO of a block, you will be given an area for local area, like development plan for a particular block, say. How you will develop a development plan keeping agriculture in mind? So then what are all the infrastructure required? Suppose in a typical district in coastal area, what are the main focus area to like make a plan for development of a particular mini block? So like what are the areas like you will see or you will keep in your plan?
Sir, one example will be recently our Padma Shri Bharat Bhushan Tyagi, who had a farmer of UP, he had made a plan of relay cropping, which is different height of the crops and it will be utilized in the same area. So he has grown the crop of haldi, rice and mustard and different types of horticulture crops. That can be also applied in agriculture of Odisha farmers, because as we know that Chakda Poko and Mohisa Rogo like blast and diseases these are prevalent in Odisha. So the smell of haldi that will protect them in affecting the rice, and as well as the for example the government is focusing on the millet mission. The millet, that fibrous root of millet, that gives also that gives nutrition to the soil, as well as though it is a drought resistant crop also, it requires the minimum amount of water. So that must be added, because our also Odisha government has started the millet mission and more than 8,000 farmers have been following also. So that could be a better crop, and so I would suggest them to go for intercropping, like different types of crop grown in the same area.
You know there is a scheme of Kalinga.
Yes, sir.
What is that?
So Cuttack livelihood assistance for increasing of the farmers' income and development of them.
What is that plan?
So in that 6,000 rupees is given to the farmers, and it was given direct benefit transfer to their account. So generally this is an assistance to the farmers, so that their income will be augmented.
Well, LIPILIPSA, you basically come from a background of agricultural studies, right? Throughout your career, what I can see. Are you aware of the new farm bill that created an uproar nationwide?
Yes, sir.
So, how do you view that?
So the farmer bills has been implemented by the government, and that also withdrew by the government. So first law, which was explaining about the farmers' empowerment of farm service, in that area, the farmers can directly contact to the direct contact to the contractor, who can generally use the input and different types of fertilizer they could give to the farmers. But there is a problem that if we know that farmers' income is dependent on the climate. So if any climate changes occur, then there will be problem of that. There are macro loss will be there, and though the corporators are high, the corporators may legally sir, they may harass the farmers. So that was the problem, and there is though the government has told that previously they were selling their product in the Mondays. Government has made the rule that they could sell the product outside the Monday. So there is a problem that if outside the Monday, then there will be problem of MSP. Though the government has not mentioned that it will withdraw the MSP, but the farmers are afraid of the MSP. And the last one is the commodity. The commodity is given generally to protect the protect some crops. So government has withdrawn the Commodity Act, and it will intervene only in the case of war. So the farmers fear that do the perishable items, government will only there will be only when there will be 100% hike, government will intervene. So the farmers fear that also, because if the 100% hike will be there, then the monopoly will be there, and black market will be there in the market also.
So, as a student of agricultural studies, basically, are you in favor of or against the bill? Your views?
Sir, in my point of view, there was a lacuna in the bill. That's why the farmers protested, and that's why the government withdrew also, because it has already been it has no consultation of a farmer was there, and recently the government is working on to reset the new bill, so that there will be with consent of the farmers. And
okay, so what would be your focus as a civil servant?
the focus of civil service.
As a civil servant, what would be your focus?
So my focus will be, first, if I will give the chances, I'd like to try work on the agriculture, and then for education.
What is your district?
So Puri district.
Puri. So, what is the scene of agriculture in Puri?
So generally it's rice is grown in the Puri district also. Some millet is already grown, and vegetable crops is generally grown in the Puri district. And though this is a coastal part, the flood prone area, so it is generally the farmers are their crops has been damaged because of submergence of water. But recently the government is trying to build and try to educate them by adopting some different varieties which is prone to the cyclone resistant, or for example rice varieties there, Sorna Sub 1 initiated by the CRRI. So government is trying to spread the knowledge that if we use the variety which is already prone to the submergence water, then there is a less chance of affecting the crop, even if the flood has been affected.
What is New Zen crop? Are you aware of it?
Sorry, sir.
New Zen crop.
New Zen crop.
Have you heard of it?
Sorry, sir.
Okay, fine. So since you are literate in agriculture, you know about it, you have studied it from close quarters. So you see agriculture contributes a large portion to our economy, both regionally and nationally. Right? So what are your plans if you are given to work in this sector, for the development of this sector? So what are your plans? How you can increase the livelihood in this sector, how you can contribute more to this sector?
Sir, firstly, I would suggest the first one, that immediate measure, for immediate measures, short-term one. So I would try to educate the farmers go for crop diversification and focus on yield per crop, yield per water. Then I would suggest them to go for adopting the new varieties that will be beneficial to them. For example, the inclusion of the millet and the crops which requires less water. And thirdly, I will suggest them to go for organic farming, like zero waste farming, natural farming, because in long term that will be beneficial to the soil status as well as for the health. And the fourth one, I will suggest them to go for inclusion of the plant extracts to increase the shelf life of the perishable product. And sir, if I would suggest the government, then I would try to give suggestion about inclusion of artificial intelligence or inclusion of UAV, unmanned aerial vehicle, so that in large basis in aerial view we can see the how much disease intensity has been affected to the crop, or
technology driven cultivation.
Okay, sir.
So what is your view on climate change and agriculture?
Okay, sir. So due to climate change, sir,
what are the policy dialogues relating to climate change?
Okay. So the government has taken, one is the International Solar Alliance. We have been adopting that it will be net zero carbon emission by 2070, and reducing the carbon estimation by 1,000 billion. Then cutting down the carbon intensity. And another is we are focusing on one sun, one world, one grid also. Another climate change we are, sorry sir, I couldn't remember.
Okay, what is the contribution of our country to the cause of climate change?
Cause of climate change.
To the cause, what India is doing?
Sir, the positive one, India is gaining, or what has?
It's contributing to the cause.
What is asking? What India is doing its best for a better climate?
For containing the climate change, right? Like otherwise, to
How to maintain?
Okay, sir.
How to maintain ecological balance? So
Okay,
that
sir. Recently, yesterday only, there is inclusion of cheetah also, because that will be the biodiversity will be maintained, so as the ecology, and there are some.
Okay. Disaster management has been a
Okay, sir.
newest phenomenon, and Odisha is doing good
Okay,
in this field. So, as an administrator, as a public servant, what will be your approach to disaster management, because it is directly or indirectly related to agricultural productivity, no?
Yes, sir.
Disaster management. So, how you are going to look at it?
Okay, sir. Sir, if I go for immediate response, then I will do the SMS through long-term SMS, alert them through the SMS. And second thing, sir, I will try to include the mangroves so that less crop will be affected. Then third, I will go for, Odisha has known for this waste management also. So because the Odisha Disaster Management Force that has been made before the National Disaster Management Force, and resilient shelter beds and different flood resilient house will be made. And fourth is, sir, I will try to build the concrete houses, and electricity should be applied to the underground, so that if also damage will be there.
I'm asking a situational question which you may face in the interview. See, you are in charge of an area, a locality, or a part of a district, okay? So you have a cyclone alert or a disaster alert, and you have been assigned to go to the place and vacate the village, but the people are not ready to move. What you are going to do to vacate them as a public servant?
See, first I will try to aware the people that.
That you have been doing.
Yes, sir.
The alert is there.
Okay.
And you have been assigned to do that, to vacate the people from the village. The people are not ready, they are not willing to go.
So then I will use with the force and try to vacate them, so that they will know. I don't know, sir, what to.
no smiling answer here. You be tough and tell what you want to tell.
Yes, sir, I will do that by using the force, and I will go to tell them that this thing this happen, and this will also impact them to the livelihood also. So better they will listen to the administrator and cooperate with them, and I will hope that as they know that they will face the problem in future if they will not vacate immediately, then I will hope that they will cooperate with me.
Two things you had been told on this score on that day.
Yes, sir.
Supposing such type of a situation will arise, and in spite of your persuasion and making them aware, they are not at all willing to vacate this place.
Yes, sir.
So what was your duty and responsibility on that particular situation? So at that time you had been told that it is better to intimate this matter to the higher level officer, that is the sub-collector or collector who may be the case, the case may be. Simultaneously you will also bring it to the notice of the police authorities